Congratulations, you're going to film school, or at least you're going to a school and you're studying film, or maybe you're studying film at home. What are the essential items that you need to be prepared for the entire experience you have ahead of you? This video is going to guide you to exactly the type of things that you need. I am so happy to announce that today's video is sponsored by Arc Studio, a screenwriting software that we're going to talk more about in a little bit. So when you get to film school, like any college or university or class that you've had before, you've got your paper and your pencils, maybe you've got some way of digitally taking notes, but there's a couple things that I want to talk specifically about that you're going to need. But I think it might be easier to start with what you don't need. Contrary to what you might think, you do not need a camera. In fact, you already probably have a camera with you, your smartphone. So don't be looking at Best Buy at the Sonys or the Canons or the Lumexes. You don't need any of them currently. And you also don't really need any other equipment. Don't be buying audio and stuff. If you already have it, great. But the reason I urge you not to purchase these things is not only one, because they are huge investments of money and will take a lot of time to properly learn to use the equipment, but two, your school probably has them available to you. My school had a whole entire checkout system for cameras, slates, boom microphones, lighting, you name it, they had it ready for you to go check out and use. So I would consult any of your school's website, any faculty at your college to see what resources are available to you. But now you're like, okay, I got it. I've been at school for a while. What else do I need? Well, the first thing that you're gonna need is a sweatshirt. And you're saying, what does that have to do with film school? The reason you need a sweatshirt is that in film school, you will find yourself in screening rooms. It's usually a film lab, which at first will sound really cool to say, until you're taking like 2 or 3 film classes a semester, and it's, getting to be winter, and you have a screening Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every day from 5 to 7 p.m. You're tired, it gets cold because they keep those rooms chilly, let me tell you. And so you want to make sure that you have a trusty sweatshirt that you can either keep like at the bottom of your backpack, that you can use as a blanket. This sounds so silly, but I can't tell you how many times I sat in a freezing screening room watching a 2 or 3 hour long film and I'm like freezing myself. So just do yourself a favor and get a good sweatshirt, okay? The next thing that you might run into in some of your earlier classes is screenwriting software. As a student, it can be really hard to find screenwriting software that not only has all the features you need it to have, but that fits a student budget. And that's why I'm so excited to talk to you about today's video's sponsor, Arc Studio. Arc Studio has simplified the screenwriting process with a sleek interface and story building features that allow you to effortlessly move between your planning and script while writing it. It's so well designed that it was actually used by the team behind Netflix's Arcane and is actively used by David Wayne, the writer and director of Wet Hot American Summer and Role Models. One of my absolute favorite features about Arc Studio Pro is its collaboration features, because when you're in class and you're assigned a group project or a partner to write a script with, I can't tell you how aggravating it is to go from Google Docs and transfer it into a screenwriting software to make sure it all prints well. But Arc Studio simplifies that process by allowing you to collaborate strictly within the screenwriting software. Additionally, Arc Studio's mobile app allows you to pick up your script from any of the devices that you have on hand, so the minute inspiration strikes, you're there in Arc Studio writing. If you're looking to change up your screenwriting process, you can use my affiliate link on the screen now or in the description box below to get a $30 discount off of Arc Studio Pro, or go ahead and try their free option to get a sense of how much easier Arc Studio makes the screenwriting process. Thank you so much to Arc Studio for sponsoring this video, and happy writing. Speaking of writing, you're gonna want to get some books that kind of lay out the anatomy of a story, which is also a book that I forgot to put on this list. 2 of my favorites, well, one is my favorite and one is actually my sworn enemy, but I'll explain why you need them both. Save the Cat is the great one, and Sid Field's Screenwriting. In Arc Studio, you can actually start your screenplay from either of these formats, as they both lay out different ways to kind of approach a story. So whichever one you kind of find yourself shifting towards or find the most natural, you can actually start right there in the program. The reason I recommend these two, Sid Field's Screenwriting is the 3-act structure we have all known and come to love. And so even though this book gets really repetitive and is why I don't love it so much, I think having it either might be on your required reading or might just be a great thing to kind of browse and use for reference or examples as you kind of start down your school journey of creating films and writing scripts and all of that kind of stuff. And then Save the Cat, to me, is a really innovative and fresh new way to look at writing a screenplay, it really focuses on character motivation and having your protagonist actually drive the story, and that's why I personally love it. This one is the one I hate putting on this list, but I kind of have to, and this is a reliable laptop or tablet. The reason I say this is because if you're not editing a film, if you're not collaborating on a film, if you're not working on something that requires a lot of high processing power, you're gonna be watching movies, you're gonna be writing essays like out the wazoo. That's something that nobody told me before film school. You're gonna be writing a lot of papers about movies and TV shows, so get prepared. A reliable laptop, I highly recommend. That is something that I think there could be an investment in. However, check with your school, see if there's anything available for you, if there are any resources for you there, because that's always worth checking before, you know, you drop a couple $100 up to $1,000 on a piece of technology. And then I'm gonna stretch a little bit, and you're gonna need to come into film school with a little bit of knowledge, because the one thing they don't tell you about film school is they don't actually necessarily show you the classics. Like, I saw Citizen Kane and Casablanca in college, and that was it. Like, it was literally like my last couple months of college that I watched Jaws for the first time. I've still never seen The Godfather all the way through, and a ton of movies that are pretty important to American cinema, they're just not going to show you for some reason. And so I highly recommend coming into school with a couple of these. Now, please, disclaimer with this, you do not need to come in, A, watching every single movie, and B, you do not need to be intimidated by people who think that their taste in films is better than yours, because there will be people who think that they have a higher brow or a more intellectual view of film, and you do not need that. All you need is a little bit of understanding of the medium of film, and you need opinions on those, because voicing your opinion is key in film school. If you didn't like a film, feel free to say it. If you loved a film, feel free to say it. I think those are essential to you enjoying film school and learning how to talk about film in a manner that is not just I liked it or I didn't like it. I think coming into film school, you should have watched at least one Tarantino movie, at least one Scorsese movie. And I say those two because they have shaped a lot of modern cinema, and that will give you a lot of shaping of current cinema, because a lot of what you spend time in film school is historical stuff. Then I think you need to have watched a Best Picture winner, and if I had to put like a little asterisk on this, I would say from the last 2 to 3 decades like of your life, because that at least gives you a standard for what like top films in your lifetime are. And then you need to come into film school with a favorite movie, again with opinions, preferably with strong opinions on it, because you might find yourself in a situation where you say to someone, oh, my favorite movie is X, and they say, I hated that movie, or a professor will say that was a dumb movie, and you need to be prepared to elaborate. You need to be prepared to defend your movie. Imagine that movie is your child, and you need to say, never speak to me or my son again, okay? That movie, you need to protect it at all costs. Because to me, it doesn't matter what your opinions are. Even if you came in with a least favorite movie and you had intellectual opinions as to why that is, that's all you need. That allows you to connect with other people about film. And guess what? You're doing it. That is what film school is all about. And the last thing, which is my biggest piece of advice, specifically if you want to go into the entertainment industry, you need to have notifications on your phone, your computer, or you need to make a daily habit of reading the industry trade papers, which are the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Deadline, and various other entertainment news sources that are solely dedicated to TV, film, news, and kind of Hollywood and what's going on. And the reason I say this is if your degree is anything like mine, where it kind of focuses on film business rather than strictly films and analyzing them and making them, this really helps you understand why certain changes happen, why companies are merging, why certain content shifts from one platform to another, why certain movies get canceled, get made, make money, don't. It just shapes your whole understanding of Hollywood and entertainment and the media that we consume in a completely different way, because you actually know what's going on behind the scenes. You get to see all the puppet strings, who's pulling them, who is affected, and I think it's really, really important. The same way you might read the news about current events in your town, or you might check the weather every day to know how you're going to dress or what decisions you're going to make for that day. I think it is so crucial to read the trades, and I can be really bad at it sometimes, but you feel so knowledgeable when you tell your friend that like so-and-so just got cast in this show, and then that show comes out a year later and like you knew about it. You did that. So those are all of my essentials that I think you need to have a great film school experience. And even if you're watching this from home and not going to film school, maybe pick a couple of these and use it as a way to kind of build your knowledge and passion as film. Think of it as a skill. The more movies you watch, the more TV you consume, the more stuff you read, the more analytically you look at things, you're going to have a deeper connection with it, at least I believe. Thank you again to our sponsor, Arc Studio, and do not forget to use my affiliate link down below. If you like this video, please be sure to like it and hit the subscribe button down below, as well as turning on the notifications bell so you never miss all of these entertainment related content that I publish on this channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you in my very next video. Bye, y'all.